Okay, guys, good morning. Welcome to the Wednesday webinar. I am Todd Gordon from TradingAnalysis. Hopefully you had a chance to watch this video. Really nicely done by a subscriber and a friend, and he's helping me a lot in a new Motive Wave program. So if you didn't get to watch it before we started, definitely take 3 minutes to watch it. Pretty fun. Good morning. Good morning. Sound is okay. Just give me a quick yes in there. If audio, okay, perfect. Sal, check your speakers. Okay. All right, everyone's good. Good morning. So nothing like freshly cooked futures in the morning, freshly burnt futures. What's that Folgers commercial? Something, something in your cup in the morning. All right, so we'll talk about that. Lots of stuff happening. So first, the big thing that we're doing tonight is a webinar about Motive Wave. This started out as kind of a Motive Wave Wednesday webinar. It still is. I mean, it's Elliott Wave Wednesday, and Motive Wave's the charting software that we use for this. With the help of Terry, who's in this video, we've really launched a big program towards the new technology that Motive Wave has on there, which is the repository, which is the ability basically for you to link your Motive Wave charts to mine. And as I make Elliott Wave analysis updates, they are synced to your desktop immediately in the cloud. So pretty amazing technology. So I've got a lot of people. This has been like a year in development. And it's actually been going longer than that. I first started messing with this when Tony put this in from Motive Wave, Tony Lindsay, probably 3 years ago. And it flopped, and we're coming back at it, meaning the technology just wasn't working yet. So it's running. So we're going to have a webinar tonight at 8 o'clock. We've also formed a Facebook group to help kind of support users. I just cleared all my cache, so I'm going to have to log back in. To help support users. So if you want to get involved, we did email you last night with an invite. It's just basically just getting other Motive Wave users or some power users. There's some new guys. So if you want to get in, get some technical support, get some help, be sure to jump into this Facebook group, okay? And if you haven't gotten in Facebook and you've been kind of trying to delay it or put it off as long as possible, resisting it, I would say good for you. But it's really not that it's pretty painless. So there's the link to our Facebook group if you want to jump in. And it's only been open for 24 hours, and I don't know, I think there's 75 members already. People are already posting stuff and asking for help, and people are posting different things, and this is slowly taking on a life of its own. So it's fun. But it's all like-minded people who are interested in Elliott, probably a Motive Wave customer. And Mr. Mike Murray, you're coming in. Approve. So there we go. Hop in there. Okay. So from there, guys, so jump in there. There will be news. There will be a post on the webinar, how to sign up for the webinar tonight, 8 o'clock. There's one of these posts in here that will give you the GoToWebinar link. Let me also, if you're interested, let me just put that link in there right now. Tonight, 8 o'clock, share, copy, registration link. And here's a link to register for tonight's webinar, 8 o'clock, all about Motive Wave. All about Motive Wave. So that's tonight, 8 p.m. Okay? So register for there, jump into our Facebook group, and let's do it. Okay, let's see. Off the bat, I think Michael asked me about Tesla. Yeah, I saw it. Have you been watching my free videos, Michael? And are you a customer? Because we did put a Tesla trade on. Michael M. About Tesla. Nate, let's talk about TD Ameritrade and data in tonight's webinar. Okay, so any Motive Wave specific, let's put it out to tonight's webinar. And it will be recorded if you don't make it. Free videos. Okay. Yeah, we put the long Tesla trade on with our subscribers. So I agree with you. All right, so hey, we have some freshly burnt futures here in the morning. Looks to be that they are off their worst levels. Let's see. And Terry is here. Terry, let me know if you want to say anything about the, you know what, we'll hold off to the end of the webinar today if you want to just say anything about, Terry's is the group admin for Facebook, so I'll bring in at the end, and we'll just remind people to come in, and we'll just kind of take it from there. So futures down 0.76% off their worst levels on news that Cohen was on the way out, but I think people kind of knew. I'm surprised how hard the markets took it. They knew Cohen was going to be out. He failed. He kind of got defeated on this tariff thing, and futures came in taking it pretty hard. We've got 23 minutes to go. Looks like we've retraced about 50% of the gap loss, but it's been kind of a weak comeback here. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ here. Styles, show extended. Come on, toss. Thinkorswim or NASDAQ kind of same thing, is retraced about 50% of what we've lost. Let's take a look at bonds in the overnight action. Bonds. Bonds have been pretty quiet. I think we are just kind of consolidating here in the bond market. Let's take a look at gold. We did put a new long on in the gold market. Gold is actually slightly lower here, which is interesting. So that's not exactly what we like to see. So most of it's been focused into the futures. So to the wave count, let me get rid of my camera. To the wave count, the S&P, we did start to move away from the alt-right bearish count. We've begun to really look into a triangle. And with the volatility that we're seeing this morning, it very well could be the case. I've begun to look at this possible triangle for the first half of 2018. If that's the case, the rally up was sellable. I didn't. I should have. I didn't. And we've even begun to look at some long uncorrelated stocks. So this morning on the open, I'm going to get stung here a little bit. We are net long in this market. We do have index butterflies going on that are meant to be fairly range bound within this triangle. So this volatility, we'll see. We'll see how we open. But I was looking for a decline here in C of C. 100% of green A compared to green C will put you at 2,600. And for this wave count to be valid, we need to hold the A wave low of 25.35. So your downside support here is anywhere from 2,600 to 2,550. And at that point, then we should be able to rally up in 3 waves in D, do another drop in E, and then possibly the triangle is complete, okay? If, on the other hand, on the way down, if we don't stop here and we continue lower, that's going to bring in the alternate count, which says the top is in. As you know, I've had a new relationship. We've launched a new relationship with Elliott Wave International, and you guys know Elliott Wave and specifically Proctor, they're looking for the top, and that's something that I'm actively monitoring. For us, though, we trade on a 2 to 3 week time frame. I don't write for 6 months or a year out like Bob does, and the guys who do the longer term reports at Elliott Wave. I kind of take it swing to swing to swing and put on the best option trades for the next 30, 45, 60 days out. So I think for now, we are still looking for either for a decline down to 25.50, and based on this count, 25.50 doesn't hold, and we continue. Based on this count, 25.50 to 2,600 should hold. So I don't know which count is going to work. Frankly, doesn't really matter to me. We're just trying to play for this move right here. As I said, I didn't think the market was going to go down here in such a hurry. I thought it would kind of just wander around a little bit. So we have an index butterfly on where there's subscribers centered around the 2680 strike. So 2535, 2680, 2765. And if we go over here to analyze, just to kind of get a visual representation of what this thing's going to look like, we are going to be down some money here a little bit. We wanted this thing to kind of live in here. So we are going to be down here a little bit, but you can see as this thing gets further out in time, the break even drops lower and lower. 3 weeks from now, I'll be up money on this trade at this price. It's just the body of the butterfly has chance to decay, and those 2765 puts that were long will hold their intrinsic value. And the longer you hold, the lower that break even goes. So I didn't think we dropped so sharply, and I didn't think the market would take Gary Cohn leaving as such a dire thing, but it might be overreacting to the downside. We shall see. Okay. So. Let me just take a look. Brian says futures are going down. I think they've been recovering. Are they starting to sell off again? No, they're not. I mean, they're off 6 points, but they're well off the lows. Okay, perfect. All right, the other thing that I think is interesting, we put on a new trade with customers in the GLD. Gold market is potentially breaking a long-term consolidation. So it's crazy. Like gold, people are saying gold was so quiet because cryptos were so much in play. Well, cryptos just got really quiet, and gold is still not really breaking yet, though I do think it has the potential to break higher. This count, those of you who are studied in Elliott will say that's a bit of an issue, Todd, because the D wave makes a move above B. If you go to the gold futures market, it's not the case. D wave, the futures, this is the ETF. The futures, the B wave is actually higher, so this is a legit triangle. We did put a new trade on in the gold market, trying to play for a break of this massive range. So with our subs, we did the March 16, the monthly March, bought the 127s, sold the 128 halves, paid 50 cents for that. And so it's a good 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio for that $1.50 spreads, paying 50 to make a buck. So just looking to get up and out and just begin to look to break up through this. And then if that's the case, if this is correct, we have significantly higher to go in the gold market. Okay, let me just take a breath here and look at questions. I'm also going to bring up my other motive wave space. Connect. Okay. Oh, Scott. Yep, let me share that up for you. Chart. And there's one thing that's going on here that is, those of you, Scott, and other people, the ETFs are being assigned to the wrong exchange. So I got to get in there and fix that. That could create an issue, but it's easily solved, and we know what to do on our end. So bringing over the other workspace, the one that's powered by IQ, where I get futures, because we don't get futures through TD Ameritrade. Here's gold. Here's gold. And you're going to see that this is a better triangle in that... You know what? I'm actually wrong. The gold market does actually make a new high in the E-wave. So, okay. So I was giving the ETF a hard time, but we actually do make a new high. So that's okay. But so here's the futures analysis of GLD. And if that's the case, there's going to be a ton of stop losses going off. The one trade that I'm very much wondering what's going to happen, and I think is very much key, and is very much related to the volatility that we've seen in the market, which is major volatility stemming from the bond market decline. The dollar is moving down into an Elliott wave count where it really needs to hold. This is, I believe, a wave 4. If this wave 4 and the dollar weekly needs to be paired up against this wave 2, wave count and validation would be 84.10. I considered a count that matches up this correction right here with this correction. Okay, being that we've already moved into that territory, not likely. So I'm giving the uptrend the benefit of the doubt, demoting this count or this correction one level and saying we've got to stay out of this territory right here. And that begins at 84.10. So the dollar's really in a position, it's painting itself in a corner. It's got to hold. If it doesn't hold, this count fails, okay, that's fine. And I also know there's some serious underlying weakness, and this was not the start of a new bull trend in the dollar, but just, in fact, an A, B, C. And if that's the case, the dollar's going to decline sharply. And, why are bonds moving lower? Why do we have this massive 40-year uptrend break in the bonds? Is it just a Fed share shift? No, come on. Okay. Is it reflation? Listen, we had inflation back in the 90s, when the tech bubble was going insane. So it's not that. It transcends the president. It transcends who's the Fed chairman. It transcends who has control of Congress. There's something key going on here, and I can't help but think credit quality questions are beginning to enter the minds of fixed income investors, and that's why you're seeing such a significant drop in bonds. Tie that back to the dollar. If the bond market continues to go, traditional fundamental relationships will say, well, interest rates go up, that's good for the dollar. Why are interest rates going up? And I always make the joke and I laugh. They say Elliott wave is subjective. Are interest rates going up good or bad from a fundamental point of view? It seems to be that most economists can't agree on that. So if the dollar breaks down through 84.10, that I think is going to start to suggest that the credit quality of our bond market is in question, and people are beginning to sell our bonds, sell the dollar, buy back their local currency, which exacerbates this volatility that we've seen in the market. So I don't know which way it's going to go, but the wave count is pointing us to a major decision point right around here, okay? I think that's really, really cool. And then you circle that back to what I was saying with the gold market. Gold is set to break a range that's been in play for like 20 months or 18 months or whatever, okay? Which way does it go? Higher or lower? I was thinking originally we'd go lower if that dollar holds the wave for support, but I mean, I'm starting to look at this saying that maybe this is a triangle that's bullish and then we break topside. But either way, we know that this is a hot pocket of volatility in bonds, in gold, and the dollar. Crude is facing resistance. And if you're going to argue with me that the volatility or that the bond market sell-off is because of growth and is because of the reflation trade, why is the crude oil market all of a sudden starting to fail up here in the B wave, set to drop back down? Why is oh, sorry, I meant to stop sharing my webcam. Sorry about that. Why is Exxon, why are energy stocks so massively underperforming? We are short Exxon. This is just not a pretty looking chart from ExxonMobil with our subscribers. We're looking at this as a leading diagonal down in 1, ABC up in 2, and then, boy, I hope I'm wrong in this wave count. I mean, I want to see the market get smoked. I do. But if this count is correct, if this is a wave 3 drop in Exxon, one of the largest market caps out there, holy cow, that's not going to be good. So we have this trade on as well, XOM. So we've got the 71, 75, 81 put fly, unbalanced fly, and 6 Aprils. Up a little bit of scratch on that trade right there. Let me just see. Where is Exxon pre-market? 75.18. Okay, perfect. So I'm very much focused on the macro here. I think until we can get a better feel for what exactly the wave count is in the S&P, that's going to be interesting. We're going to open down around here. As I said, near term, we're going to get down to this level, and then we're going to figure out what the longer term outlook is. Okay, let me just take a look at questions here. I'm getting off my rant, my soapbox. The RUT John M looks just like the S&P. So it's basically the same chart. Scott, I did share the GLD in there for you. Tarek, where does that put the dollar index? If we break through wave 4 support, Tarek G, if that's your question, I mean, just much lower, much lower. Joe, are we going to put on the other half of the GLD trade? Oh, good question. I don't love... I really like to see that the gold market get a bid on this volatility in the S&Ps. So I want to see it respond, and then we'll put the other half of the trade. Excuse me, no, we did. I got filled on that. I got the full position on Joe. If you didn't, I got the bid at 40 cents, so I'm long at an average of 45. The future feed I use for Motive Wave B Wings is IQ feed. IQ feed. So what I'm doing is I'm running, we'll talk about this tonight, but I'm running TD Ameritrade, which is free data, which works great, which is only stocks and indexes. And then I've got another Motive Wave workspace over here being powered by IQ to run futures, and you got to pay for that. Tom, how about the alt count as a diagonal triangle on the dollar? Let's look at that. And then I will circle back and talk about the Tesla trade. Let's take a look. Oh, diagonal triangle in the dollar. Where's my dollar? Diagonal triangle. Wonder what you're saying. Kids have a snow day today. They're driving my wife nuts upstairs. I can hear it. Diagonal triangle. Oh, are you saying possibly 1, 2, 3, 4, a leading diagonal up in one? I bet you that's what you're saying. That's possible. That's that's possible. It's possible. It is. Yep. Yep. There's a few possibilities for sure. Yep. I can't disagree with that. From 2008, that must be what you're saying. Yeah. Could be stagflation too. Yep. Yep. I did cover oil, Gerald. Yep. Sure, Joe F. Yep. No, I agree with you on that one. Okay, let's take a look at Tesla. I think Mike hit me on the open on that one. Tesla pre-market 325. That's it. Only down $3. There you go, Tesla. Okay, how long? 6 minutes till the open. IQ 2TD. And just, I always make this excuse, but just so you understand, I only do the webinar up on this little monitor, which is 1920 by 1080. Normally, I have everything spread out, so I can just very quickly move through the process. If it seems very jumbled, I'm always moving windows around. It's because I've got to take everything down here and put it up on that monitor. So just, if it seems like it's very unsmooth and things aren't laid out neatly, which drives me insane, usually I have my charts very strategically put out here so I can just go through the process very simply. So just a heads up there. And those of you who are watching the recording didn't just see that video, only the live people saw that video. Okay. So Tesla. Where's Tesla? Okay, so we put the long trade on with our subscribers, and we are completely expecting a bit more drop down in E of triangle 4. Somebody was tweeting me last night and they said, Todd, Tesla's not going where you thought it was, and he's not a subscriber. And that's unfortunate. You don't get the full access and the full analysis unless you're a subscriber to get the real time. And he's wrong, because that's exactly what we were expecting. We're expecting a bit more of a move down in E. It's completely accounted for, but we cannot break below 294. So a bit more of a drop down into 320, 310, completely fine. We sold the 315, 310 put spread with the credits of that. We bought the 400 something, 405 call spread. Altogether, we did it for about $1 credit. So we sold the 315, 310 put spread, and then took like $1.40 in and took that credit and bought the 400, 405 call spread. So, any kind of move down into here, the 0.618 relationship of C compared to E is a good stopping point. 23% retracement of big wave 3 down to 4. And then we really need to hold 294 to keep this count valid. So down into that zone right there, that's Tesla. We have the Lulu trade on, which is acting great. Lulu, which is, I've been doing a couple free videos and kind of collaborating with Elliott Wave International on this one. Jeff Kennedy did a nice piece, and I took it and put the trade on and did a video crediting him. Really nice relative strength up. My wife has me wearing Lululemon all the time. So I don't know. It's just good stuff. I like it. It makes you look thin. So we should be able to move up 85.90. Lulu showing really good relative strength. Have that trade on as well with the call butterfly. Lulu, we have a lot of butterflies going here just because I still think we're inherently in a range-bound market, though we're going to challenge the lower end of the range right now. Lulu looks good. Netflix is just ripping. Netflix just won't let you out, won't let you in. Just continues to make new highs. I think a Fibonacci projection in wave 3 is going to be at 458 as we trade 319. So I'm just looking for some kind of entry in this trade. It just won't go away. Our direct TV is out upstairs, so I know my kids and wife are going to be on Netflix a lot of today, and I'm sure a lot of people are. So what other questions you guys have? Michael, when green 3, let me know what market you're talking about after green 3. Why can't that be A of a triangle? Let me know. Yeah, we did gold, Dave, early on. Tesla. Tesla. I just lost it. Tesla. So Mike's question is, where'd you go? There it is. So many questions. After green 3. Okay. Why can't that new low be A of the triangle? Why can't this, where wave 4 is, why can't this be? Why can't wave 4 be? Because triangle needs to be higher lows, lower highs. So this made a new low. So that this can't be A, B, C. We need to make higher lows and lower highs. So this made a lower low. And plus it's a 5-wave move. It's an ending diagonal. Triangles, all subwaves of a triangle need to be 3-wave moves. And this was a beautiful ending diagonal with expected overlap between 4 and 2, sharp reaction. And then you look at the first response, that's a 3-wave move. Up, down, up, that's a 3-wave move. Up, down, up, that's a 3-wave move. That's a really nice triangle. Yep, come on in, Mike. You got to come into the members area to get the full stuff. I can see you're knowledgeable at Elliott. Just need a little bit of fine tuning, and you will get it. Okay. So, any other questions? Let me see. Terry, do you want to hop in and just talk about the webinar tonight? Let me see if I have you on Skype.
I'm here, Todd.
All right, this is Terry. Terry's on the line. He is my Motive Wave resource. If I have a question, I go to him. He knows a lot about it. Thanks for hopping on, Terry.
I'm cheaper than Tony or Joe.
No, you're not cheaper. You're just. I don't know. I mean.
No, hey guys. Hopefully you guys have seen, had a chance to log in to the Facebook page. I'm telling you, right out of the bat, it started getting active. Like Todd said, about 75 members, I think, already in there. The questions are rolling. Had my first support issue, and as I was helping the guy out, found out that we both retired from the same company. So small world.
I saw that. That was great.
Yeah, and hopefully this is going to be a venue for all of Todd's clients to get to know each other a little bit and share their experiences as we try to help you, primarily work through the cloud share. But the Facebook, the social media thing is going to get much bigger than just that one little topic. I'm pretty sure pretty fast. So. Yeah, guys, there's an event tonight. You can click on the events page and sign up. I don't know how to do Facebook Live sharing on the screen, so I think
I'm doing it for you, Terry.
Yeah, so we're still going to do that via the GoToMeeting workspace.
Yep. I did a lot of research on how to do Facebook Live and YouTube Live, and I've got to kind of retool my studio here to do it, but we're going to do it. But so yeah, just definitely jump in there. And Terry's been great. We've been working through this quite a bit, several 3-4 hour sessions, just working through the different issues with this cloud share. It's new technology that has not been used before. So thank you, Terry, for your hard work. You've been an amazing resource and huge help. He's a customer, a subscriber, friend, and he's just coming in here giving me a lot of help. So I do appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, Todd. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun for everybody. We're going to make it, make it what it is, and let's just see where this goes.
Perfect. That's awesome. Okay, guys, so we're going to leave it there, and I'll see you tonight in the webinar. Hopefully that helps you get started here. The markets are down just a touch, and I'm down peanuts. I'm down $115. So why is that? Exxon giving a lot of profits back on Exxon. Look at that. That's what I hope you don't mind, but the company that I don't want to say too much. Down $43. Okay. Yeah, so our big one, Exxon, is coming back against us, so we might need to manage those profits on Exxon. Okay. All right, good stuff. We're going to hop into the members area, guys. So come on, trading analysis, and we'd love to have you. Okay? Thanks, everyone, and catch up with you real soon. See you tonight in the webinar.